Hello, my most amazing artists. We are going to make our invisible worry visible today. So our last art assignment, we drew another paper. We're working with a square paper at school, but you can use whatever size you have at home. We drew another set of eyes. In class, we used black crayon. You could have used black permanent marker, as long as either crayon or permanent marker. And we made sure that we could feel those eyes. Then I asked you to take a white crayon and draw all those lines we've been learning, the straight, zigzag, curvy, and loopy, and put them kind of all over your paper. So to test that we're ready to watercolor, you should be able to feel your lines. So right now your worry is invisible, and we need to make him visible, or her, depending on who you did. So what you need today is you need your paintbrush from your art kit. You need your watercolor set from your art kit. You need a little cup that has some clean water in it. You might want to wear an art shirt. It depends on how messy you get. And you might want to have a piece of paper towel around just in case. Once you get all your stuff, I'm going to go through the little rhyme, the little song we do in class. I'm not sure how much watercolor experience you've had, and the way Mrs. Cole watercolors might be a little different than you, but that's okay. You'll learn my way and see how it works for you. So we always use watercolor with a wet paintbrush because it's called watercolor, so it needs water. Your paintbrush should always look like a little dancer on its tippy toes, never smashed in like a spider. If it looks smashed like that, your paintbrush is really thirsty. So a paintbrush really should be gliding like a dancer. You're really moving puddles of color all over your paper. Watercolor isn't supposed to be really dark and thick. It's supposed to be watery because it's watercolors. And if you want it darker, I'll tell you how to do that. So go ahead and open up your kit. There's lots of colors. I took out black and brown because I don't let kids use black and brown because I want you to use colors. So for your worry, you can use whatever colors you want. Just make sure you clean your brush between colors. This is turquoise and magenta. Then you have purple, blue, and then green, yellow, orange, and red. Now, you have to be careful when you mix these warm or these fire colors with these colors. Sometimes it mixes to like a brownish or a grayish color, so you have to be careful. If you don't mind your colors mixing, you can paint it all at once and paint over each other. If you don't want your colors to mix, paint one color and let it sit and dry for a little bit before you paint more. That's up to you because you're the artist. So right now, the dry paintbrush and dry paint, does that work? No, you need water. Your brush is thirsty. So with your water cup, have one hand on your water cup, and we're gonna say this: swish, 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 drip. You want it watering, but you don't want to drip water all over the place. So in class, we touch the bottom, we go swish, 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 drip. Now we're ready to get our color. And Mrs. Cole is going to start with the turquoise color because it's her favorite color. So I've done swish, 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 drip, and now we're going to tickle, 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 tickle. And that's all the paint I need. I don't need to stir the soup. I don't need to punch or dig into my paint colors. So again, it's swish, 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 drip, tickle, 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 tickle. And you'll see I have a puddle of water in my paint, and that's absolutely fine. So now I'm ready to paint, and I need to make my invisible worry visible. So now I can just start painting. And if you notice, I don't have to be really careful around my eyes. All that crayon is showing up because wax and water are not friends. So you can see it's bubbling up because the water doesn't like the crayons. Now I'm painting, but my brush is getting scratchy. That means my paintbrush is thirsty. So I can go back into this puddle I created if I want the same color and get more paint. Or if I'm painting turquoise and be like, no, I want a new color. I clean my brush, so I scrub at the bottom. So I scrub, 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 swish, 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 drip, and tickle, tickle. And now I can paint. Now, if your paint is too dark and you don't like it, you can just get some more water and add water to thin it out and make it softer. If your paint is too light and you want it a little darker, you can just tickle, tickle back into that color to get a darker color. If you don't want your colors to mix, then you should paint them separate. Like if I don't want my magenta to be near my purple, I'll paint over here and let that dry a little, because wet paint and wet paint kind of mixes together. So I'm always cleaning between colors. I'm swishing it, scrub, 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 then swish, 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 drip, and tickle, tickle. And I can just see what happens. Maybe what happens when you mix the colors, you like that, and that's okay. Your goal today is to learn how to use the watercolors. That was really dark. We want to learn that I can paint right over and not have to be super careful and my lines come up. We also want to know when our paintbrush starts to get dry and scratchy, it needs more water and we need to give it something to drink. Okay, so what you want to do is you can pick whatever colors you want and you can start painting your worry. Remember, if it's too dark, add a little bit more water and thin it out. And if it's too light, you can always get a little bit more paint and paint over it. So what I'd like you to do is finish painting your worry. Be careful around your eyes, but then you can kind of paint fast, because since we don't have to worry about going around stuff, you got it. So there you have it. This is my worry. I didn't paint, sorry over the shaking, my table is shaky. So I didn't paint inside my eyes because I want to leave it white because I want my eyes to show up. But I can see my loopy lines. I can see some straight lines. There's my zigzag line. And there is my wavy line. So you can see all my lines. So your invisible worry is now visible. So have fun painting. Get used to using those watercolors, watery and make it glide. Paint with the tip, and if your paintbrush starts looking really scratchy, it's thirsty. So don't forget to give your paintbrush a drink. So the rhyme is swish, 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 drip, then tickle, 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 tickle. When you're all done, scrub, scrub, scrub. Use your paper towel and dry your paintbrush. It should come off pretty clean. And then you're ready to put your paintbrush set away. Now, if I were to just close my paintbrush set now with all this water, it would drip out into my art kit. So what we're doing in class is we can either leave this out in the classroom and I'll come collect them later, or you can put a piece of paper towel over the top and just close the paper towel on your art set and then put it back away, and then anything that was wet would get absorbed in the paper towel. Since you're at home though, my suggestion would just be let it air out until it dries a little bit before you put it away. But you do you. Good luck, have fun, and I cannot wait to see the pictures of your invisible but now visible worries. Goodbye, my most amazing artists.